day, traders. This is Richard. It's Friday morning, July 19th, 2024 at 4:19 a.m. Pacific, 7:19 Eastern. Notice how this chart of oil, where you see the red arrows, starting with this one, a red arrow from here up to there, another red arrow from up there down to there, and then back up to there and back down to there. That was drawn yesterday before there were any candles out in here. How'd I do that? I used A, B, C, D. Now let's squinch this down a little bit so we can see the bottom of this D. See D right there? I used what I had to imagine the future. It's A down to this B, up to that C, and then all the way back down here to this level. So we got to a point here at 80.76, and then we floated up to here at 81.89, and I drew a line from up there down to here, and I drew it with no candles to see, but I did draw it parallel to this line, and I drew this one in an ABC, actually it was X, A, B, C, D, and then we already had this one in, so I drew the red arrow down from up here all the way down to there, it parallel to this line here. And notice how the candles came in right along that path. This is chart reading 101. When you can do this, you can trade. Now, you have to believe in it. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to do it. You have to know why you do it, when you do it, and where you do it. And you have to understand which instrument you should do it with. So all those questions have to be answered. Why, what, where, when, why, and which. Deductive reasoning. So we got down here all the way. It took a little bit more time to get down to this level. Now I'm going to draw a horizontal line in there at the 80.44 level, which is a little bit above this 80.29. Now we don't hardly ever get all the way down to D. We usually stop a little early than D. When you draw an A, B, C, D, don't expect price to come all the way down to the D. Expect it to get close, like it did here. And then it started back up. Actually, it didn't get down here all the way until way over here. It may get down past D after it does a volley to the upside, and it's working its way down now. And we could draw another A, B, C, D in here. A, B, C. There's D down there. That may come about today, possibly tomorrow. Depends on the volume that's captured here in panel 3. Up here is panel 1 where the candlesticks ride. Here's panel 2 where the relative strength indicates what's happening with volume. And here in panel 3 is 2 kinds of volume. And the way we know that we're still bearish is this indicator up here called net change. When the volume gets stronger in one direction than the other, this number starts moving down. And when it's red, it's bearish. When it turns green, it's bullish. Now, these green and red markers are an automated indicator by the name of price action swing. Price action swing pro. It's a tool that automatically draws the ABCs onto the chart. It's hard to tell after the fact which swings were drawn by the price action swing pro versus the ones I drew on here. But you can tell these arrows have a little arrowhead, unlike the moves that are in the indicator. There's no arrowhead here. So you can imagine from the angles that are set up by Fibonacci. Now there's a Fibonacci level right here. There's two of them. Now I'm going to spread this out a little bit, move this up some. That concludes my discussion of price action swing pro. Now let's just talk a little bit about fib levels. So I drew this fib from this high down to this low. You see that green number there? That's 0.00. And up here is 100%. So it was drawn in yesterday at 8:08 a.m., about 24 hours ago. Because right now it's 7:30 Eastern. And this is drawn in a little later yesterday than today's time. So you see everything that happened in the future. I'm going to draw a box around this low. All this was new. When I drew this in, I had no candles out in the blue box. It's kind of interesting. Price knows where to go from where it had been. Now, this is the next thing I'm going to say is kind of curious, but when I was a boy, I spent a little time on a farm when I was 12 years old, and I spent some more time on the farm when I was 13 years old. And we had some milk cows. I think there were 6. Maybe there were 8. Kind of hard to remember, a long time ago. But it's funny how those cows would walk out to the pasture where the grass was the best and graze. They knew when to come back to the barn to be milked. They knew the way. They knew the time of day. I never figured that out as a boy. I still haven't figured out how the cows who don't have deductive reasoning in their, but they have some memory. The markets have memory. They remember where they were, and they know where they're going before we do. So we can use that knowledge, that information, that can produce some wisdom to read the mind of the market, forecast the future. Thank you. Richard Rube, signing off.